Hi, welcome to the CRUBCAST, a podcast about video games. Today, if Olaf melts and reforms, is it a Ship of Theseus situation? I'm Chris Meekness fan. With me is Brody Rackrock. Say hi. We have that Trav guy with us. Oh my god, Trav, recompose yourself. Like really Olaf after he reforms. Kevin the Golden Bolt is here too. Hi, Kevin.
This is me talking. Yeah, Trav, you knew from the start that we were going to do the Olaf Ship of Theseus episode.
I'm doing it for dramatic effect. Oh, come on, man.
You got to. I'm yes-anding you.
Wait, we're doing the Olaf Ship of Theseus.
There was nothing yes and about that. Welcome to the CRubCast.
I said yes.
Firm no, but
I said yes and.
Oh, that's true. You did say yes and.
Yeah, I did. So, yeah. Welcome to this white guy podcast hosted by white guys. We're talking about.
My family's Hispanic.
We're talking about Olaf. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with what a Ship of Theseus is, I asked Trav to pull up a definition that I'm not sure he did pull up, so I'm buying him time.
And then I closed it, so I have to pull it back up again.
So I'm buying him time.
Control-Shift-T will open up tabs.
All right, so in 2012, there was an Indian drama called The Ship of Theseus. This is the wrong Wikipedia page.
the Greek thought experiment.
So,
all right, The Ship of Theseus is a pretty well understood piece of literature. It's the concept also known as the Theseus paradox, which means if you take a boat, keep replacing the parts on it, is it still the same boat? Because it's all made eventually of new parts. If a living person keeps having new limbs attached to them over and over throughout their life, are they the same person?
That's not what. So yeah, the idea of a Ship of Theseus in the context of Olaf is, and we're putting aside the actual lore to any Frozen fans that know that it's that specific snow that makes Olaf. We don't care because we can apply this to Frosty the Snowman too, because Frosty is different snow every time.
Yeah. So, the idea of shadow boxing the potential Frozen fans who find this like, well, actually,
they name search. They name search Olaf every goddamn day.
They filter by today's uploads. Let's see what's up on the Olaf topics today.
Who's the actor? Josh Gad. He's just like in there, like on Twitter, just vanity searching.
He's in the DMs insulting people. Yeah. So for the purposes of the discussion, we're going to ignore the fact that they did make it canon to avoid this in case they ever needed to make Olaf go to the beach, because that's what that was for, probably. And we're going to explore the idea of whether Olaf or Frosty the Snowman, if you replace all of them outside of, I guess, their soul, are they the same person? And even with regards to soul, I'm going to throw out, what if it's a situation similar to the cloning thought experiment, where if you clone yourself or teleport yourself, is it you that's being teleported to another place, or is it an identical copy of you? Because the original you is vaporized. So you die horrifically, and then an exact duplicate doesn't realize that they're not the original. It's the Shadow the Hedgehog situation, essentially.
Right. So that's a great that's a great question and entrance into the idea, because there's always... I like to look at the teleporter one as an interesting one of breaking down matter and reconstructing it, sending it and reconstructing it on the other side. So you're not vaporized on the other end. You're sent, but you're sent in little bits and pieces and then reconstructed at the very end. Are you still the same at that point, right? Do you still have the same stream of consciousness?
From the perspective of everyone else, you're just nothing changed, you know? But
from everyone else, but you yourself.
Well, if you don't feel like you changed,
I will not get to experience what was on the other side of that teleporter, but my brain will be there. Ow.
Well, yes, but it'll be a completely replicated makeup of your brain. So again, is it like if a cell goes through mitosis and splits into two identical cells, are they the same cell? And things mutate, so no. Like that's how mutations happen, you know? So
the question is, if you took Olaf, all of his snow, and you ingested all of the snow, like if you melted it into water and drank it, or just
that has to come later. You can't spoil the good topic.
It's already colored like piss.
Audio listeners don't know that Brody spent 2 hours drawing an Olaf that is yellow with big muscular branches for some reason.
Between
the two sprites, I think it took about 3 hours to like render them all with shading. Now, of course, On the actual pod here, we will not be having the talking spray. It was deemed too horrifying for Crub proper. It's only available on the pre and post show.
And to be fair, we warned you as you were doing it. You were wasting your time and effort.
Yeah, we outright said we saw the original version of that. We were like, no. If you want to know and you don't want to subscribe, I'm going to give you a 5-word
If you've listened to this and you're like, yeah, I need more of that.
5-word preview of the horrifying thing Brody drew. Fallout 3 Centaur, but worse.
Yes.
That is what that design was. So if you want to get a bunch of cool bonus content, get access to our pre and post shows, and join us for Book Crub, where we play a game every month and chat about it with you in an actual, call conversation, or you can write in if you want to. Patreon.com/Crub, or just join the Discord and talk with us independent of that and tell us about Fallout Centaurs.
I can't believe you turned piss
How do
off
they
into a
reproduce?
plug.
I can turn anything into a plug.
How do they reproduce?
Don't say
as in
that.
piss offs?
Good point, Trav. Good point. So yeah, thinking about the topic here, the ship of Theseus, Olaf. Chris, I want to get your thought process as you work through it here to tell us how you feel.
Nothing at all, actually. Thank you for asking. I think it's...
What was your first exposure to the ship of Theseus?
Ooh. It'd probably be the ship of Theseus.
The ship of Theseus, actually. You know, you mentioned it. Yeah, the 2012 film that popularized the concept.
Mine was the finale from WandaVision when he's talking to White Vision. Don't call him that.
I haven't seen this show.
I
believe
think I saw
that.
I think I saw White Vision on the Everything app.
It was...
I'm looking at White Vision right now, bro.
Wait, it was when Vision, spoilers, was talking to White Vision, and they're supposed to kill each other, but then they start talking about the ship of Theseus, and then they make out.
How much of this is real? Did that happen?
Most of that.
They do talk about. They don't make out.
What is...
Everything except for the making out part is real.
I'm going to write down what is White Vision, and I don't want to talk about it until later.
So they both
write that down.
Both float in midair, and they kind of like hover in a circle around each other in like a small library while they just chat.
Brody, later.
Yeah, and he's
the way
like,
I'm
have
approaching
you heard
this,
of the ship of Theseus?
my thought process is, what are we doing too? I think it's a matter of consciousness, right? If your consciousness transfers with the matter, then it is you. Objectively. I don't know how you ever know that though, right?
And that goes to the cloning thing, because it's similar to how, like, if Shadow the Hedgehog was an android, doesn't matter because he still has the same memories and soul.
Right. If ethically he believes that he is that, even if he isn't, and that it no longer exists anyway, you can't pin the fault of that on the clone. Maybe on the people who cloned him.
That's fair.
So if Olaf melted...
Now, keep in mind, when I was looking
is he the carrot?
Pictures...
Is
he the carrot? I hope not.
When you searched Olaf on Google Images, what did you see, Brody, with the safe search off?
So when I Googled Olaf,
hold on.
I did see a picture of him with his little twig arms holding his head above his body, like off of his body as if it was separated.
Yes.
So that at least we know that he can do that. I was thinking, like, what happens if you like cut his head in half and there's like one eye and like part of his mouth in one section and then like the rest of his face on the other? Is that it's probably all one consciousness, right? Because if I'm thinking of like a movie like Frozen, a Disney movie, it's probably like, oh, haha, I got split up and I'm in parts now, but I can still talk and I can see out of this eye, even though it's away from me, like that, like Mrs. Potato Head in Toy Story 2. Like,
right.
I see that it's probably the case. It probably doesn't, not like a worm, like it doesn't just create two new Olafs if you cut him.
I found the Olaf pillow pet.
It's pretty cool, right?
So the follow-up thought is, outside of the idea of drinking Olaf, is the different consistencies in which Olaf can be
redistributed.
Turned. Yeah. Like, what if you made a slushie out of Olaf and you put him in like a 7-Eleven smoothie slushie mixer, and then you had it like cherry slushie out of Olaf? Is that still Olaf? Because we know he has that same soul, but then he knows he's being drunk.
Right. That was one of my immediate questions when we came to this, was like, when you peed him out, would he remember that process? And how would he view you? Because
even if he is a being that is the same set of matter, it's magical, it will never disappear forever, he has to go through stomach acid.
I'm going to look him up on Pinterest.
and stomach acid is like one of the most acidic things, hence the name acid. So the idea of
it's breaking down
digesting
the enzymes,
like
breaking them down past the point, like to the point that if you broke down a human in stomach acid, they'd be dead, right? Like
the stomach acid can.
If I put you in a meat grinder and all that came out was your eyeball, yeah, you're probably dead.
Yeah, but Olaf can reconstitute himself.
Yeah.
So like, if you piss out Olaf, are you Olaf's mom?
So it's like it's like the same Olaf, but also a new Olaf, like when Groot regenerated into baby
that
Groot.
might be
Before that question, I had thought of
sentence.
Olaf in therapy over this, and now I'm definitely thinking of Olaf just sitting there like, I just don't know where it all went wrong. I saw inside of him, and now I have to take care of him in the old folks' home. I just don't get it.
Holy moly.
Now, could you take Olaf in a fight?
Yeah, if an Olaf was coming at you, would it be that or 3 kindergartners? Just curious.
1,000 small Olafs or one big Olaf?
Yeah,
Would you rather be in a room with one man or one piss Olaf?
Oh, piss Olaf, because he's my son.
But yeah, Trav, what are
It's a family affair, you know?
I thought you were going to say it's a family episode. I'm like, this is not a family episode.
I'd let my son listen to this because my son.
What are you gonna say, Kevin?
I want to hear you walk through this now. Yeah. With everything we've added to this, I want to hear your opinion and perspective on Olaf as a ship of Theseus.
Have you seen Frozen?
Forever ago.
Okay,
it's been a long time.
Just checking.
Let's see. So
That overlay is wild. That was insane. For those in the audio realm, Trav has in the background on his green screen the other 4 members of our podcast talking on another podcast, and there was a transition that just happened, and it jump scared him.
This might be the most Crub episode.
Okay.
So here's the thing, right? Yeah. Like, I don't know how he works.
Why not?
All I know is that he is snow. Is he like the Sandman, where he has like 1 grain of sand that like contains his consciousness, and then whenever he's near snow, it just kind of pulls up to him?
So Olaf killed Uncle Ben too.
So if in that case, can you break that 1 grain of sand that is Sandman, or can he change between grains of sand? The one is him.
I think it's just the one.
So if you destroyed that grain of sand, or turned it into glass.
So does that mean when Sandman's walking around, even just as like a normally constituted human, he's actually just like a tiny little consciousness in 1 particle of his own body?
Well, what are we?
All,
you know, like we're just a brain inside of a skeleton. Like
that is true.
We are the brain observing itself. We are the universe experiencing
and
itself.
So what's so different about my boy Flint Marco walking down the street?
Marco. My boy Flint Marco, you know, he's just trying to look out for his daughter, dude.
He did nothing wrong.
Now,
what's wrong? What's makes it? Shut the freaking up. Flint going down the street being a man, he's just a grain of sand. What's the difference?
I have an idea. Okay. Spider-Man 2 just came out on PC, so we could mod the Sandman fight into being Olaf.
You know, that would do more marketing for that game than anyone else has.
Give him a big carrot nose. Oh, that'd be great.
I just checked the recording, and we're only 14 minutes in.
How much more do you need, Brody?
Yeah.
I feel like you're the kind of guy that likes Spider-Man 3. You want to talk about that for a bit?
The Raimi one?
So here's how we'll see Wolverine at the PlayStation showcase.
That already happened at the time that you're listening to this.
Dude, that Shinobi game looks sick.
We saw Bloodborne 3. It was so cool, dude.
They skipped over 2. It was insane. Yeah.
It's just like fans... it's just like what they were going to do for Metal Gear Solid 2, where they wanted it to be the 3 towers of New York, except 9/11 happened, so they couldn't do that.
Is that real?
I saw somebody say that the Eagles winning the Super Bowl with Saquon Barkley was the worst thing to happen to New York ever.
Jesus.
I wanted to say that on air. So,
worst thing that ever happened in New York. I mean, Sandman was killed there. Worse things have happened.
That's true. Well,
Sandman was killed? You mean Uncle Ben?
Well, Sandman was also killed there.
Sandman didn't get killed there. He flew away into the sunset.
In that
Didn't
universe.
he die? Didn't he die in 3?
I don't remember.
No. He got away.
Oh, right.
He flew away.
Because Peter's like, I forgive you or something, and he just goes, and he just floats away.
Which is why it was really funny in the new one when they were like, yeah, we brought all of the villains from the exact moment right before they died, and it was like, Sandman didn't die.
He didn't die.
No, but like he was older because that's the you didn't. Sorry, swear jar. You didn't freaking pay attention, Morty.
That might be the meanest thing you could say to Brody. Wow. The thing is, it's like, not that we need to get into that movie too much.
But Sandman is stop talking. Sandman is like, oh hey Peter. So like it's like, yeah, he's worked together. It's been some time.
Why is Sandman? Hey Peter, I'm Sandman.
It's been some time.
It's been some time.
So if he was pulled when he was right about to die, it was later. It wasn't at the end of Spider-Man 3.
The most frustrating thing to me about that, though, is that he starts hearing the villains out, and he's like, "Yeah, I guess I hate Peter Parker in this universe. I don't know." I'm like,
if Joe Swanson go home, it's not personal.
If Joe Swanson was in Kingdom Hearts 4 as a member of Organization 13, would he be Jokes?
I almost spit my sugar-free Red Bull.
Hey Peter, I'm Zoj now. Here's my Keyblade.
This might be the best episode of
Pubcast.
PUBG?
All right, I'll write down Pubcast. It's not bad.
I hope we never get back. I hope we never get back to to White Vision, so you just see that on your notes later, and you're like, "What the hell?"
I think we need to have a follow-up to this episode where we make the other 4 react to this episode, so that way we have them and then us in a window with them, and then them in a window.
The Trial of J-Tart9 watch along with J-Tart9,
and we just keep reacting to the same episode back and forth, just swapping out the groups of 4.
Well, look, man, like if this podcast gets reacted and then we react to that one, is it even the same podcast anymore, dude?
I mean, if you take the Crubcast and replace each member over time, like within one episode of the podcast, and then by the end it's the other 4 members, is it the same podcast?
We're getting close to that with FTCR. I'll get back to you on that one.
Oh, no, I mean like within one episode, not like the members.
Oh.
Like we start with these 4, and then like 20 minutes in, Justin replaces you.
Blip.
And we don't acknowledge it. And then we get to the end and all 4 of us have swapped.
Like a relay race. Oh, that would be fun, actually.
Yeah.
There's nothing relay about this race.
Like a relay race.
So Slushy Olaf, do you think he feels that when you turn him into 7-Eleven Slurpee?
I think on the basis...
Is he still conscious as water?
I think he's always
he gets
conscious.
Like upset
like
about
if
the
we
quality
put him in a
Slurpee?
bucket, but we make sure he has like his eyes and his nose in the bucket.
I don't think he can melt is the thing. I think his snow in canon is unable to melt.
That happened, but we're ignoring canon.
No, there's definitely a scene in the first movie.
It was at the end of Frozen 1 where he's like,
he's by a fireplace,
and then like he doesn't melt.
No, but he's by a fireplace, isn't he? And he's like, oh no.
Well, yeah, that happens earlier in the movie, and then Elsa, the snow goddess, is like, and then like he can't melt anymore. It was like a spell cast by a witch.
Okay, but you can still eat him. Like it's still snow.
Wait. Yeah, if it's a spell cast by a witch, then that means we could cast a counter spell to undo that, or we could hold Elsa at gunpoint and make her undo the spell.
Well, Elsa's good friends with Peter Parker. I think we could listen.
Secrets they don't want you to know. Holy moly.
That's so good.
I think his consciousness is ever present, much like all of our consciousness. We're all just being reborn if you think about it, dude. I'm reading some books about this. So I think he would feel it. He'd be constantly aware of it. But due to being consciousness, he knows that everything's like objectively neutral, bro. And he'd be like, nah, we're cool. You can do it again.
So
Olaf just like the idea of consciousness in general. Like, how come I'm witnessing life from my eyes and not someone else's? You know,
curse.
Well, because your grain of sand is there.
Yeah. Oh, it's in. Yeah. That's actually heart palpitations.
So what happens? Hold on.
I have a new question. Brody, die.
Okay.
If Olaf reassembled post Slushy, and he was fine and accepted it, and you said, well, you know, if we're being honest, Olaf, the machine wasn't really in good shape, and it wasn't that good of a Slushy. Can I put you back in and try again?
I mean, it might be like a roller coaster ride for him if he can't feel pain. We don't know that Olaf can feel pain.
So that's what I'm wondering is like, because there's a 7-Eleven slushie. Those are pretty good. There's like an icy. An icy is like the best of the best in terms of slushies. Or there's like a regular convenience store, like
gas station
slush puppy
like
machine.
a really shitty one.
Like I would hate to become a slush puppy, but I think I'd be okay becoming an icy.
So if Olaf can't feel pain, is he a truly conscious being?
I have to Google slush pussy.
Like, because can you exist as a living thing without feeling pain? Because at that point you don't know life.
Do bugs feel pain?
Because life is pain. I think bugs do respond to stimulus.
I don't know if it's ever established whether or not he has the sense of feel.
Well, he was literally impaled. Like he goes,
he's like, yeah, he's fine. Like
that's true. You know what? That's a very good point. But that just because he doesn't feel it in the same way we do doesn't mean he doesn't feel it. He might feel it like physically, feels it all right. But just be like, oh, that's that doesn't hurt, but I can sense that there is a thing there, bodily.
All right, I've Googled Olaf.
I'm always saying this.
I'm going to give some details here. An unstoppable force of destruction. Wiki? The axe-wielding Olaf wants nothing but to die in glorious combat.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a different Olaf.
I hope it's this.
Oh.
No, I think that's the right one.
No, that's League, sorry. He is a benevolent, enchanted snowman created by Elsa. His most prominent quirk is his love for summer and all things hot. Forgot about that one, as it turns out.
I can't wait to meet Piss Olaf in Arcane Season 3.
Jeff Keighley on the Game Awards. It's like, we have a new exclusive reveal for you on Arcane. That's right. Olaf the Snowman is here. Olaf.
So Olaf loved going to the beach. So he was specifically seeking out the one thing he couldn't have, like a Tantalus situation.
Death?
So
yeah, I mean, it's like how I want to get thrown into the sun. We can all relate.
So if Elsa gave him the ability to reconstitute at all times and be special snow, it's a constant Tantalus situation where he will go to the thing that he wants, which is warmth, and then melt and suffer because of it, and then like reconstitute.
Is Elsa the Christian God and is Olaf Jesus Christ?
Wasn't this literally the plot of the season 2 finale of Smiling Friends?
Wasn't
God?
Didn't God imbue consciousness into Jesus Christ and make him consciousness or something? And then
Jesus Christ?
So the footsteps in the sand were Olaf
was in
following
like the Nevada desert where it's like really, really hot in the day and really, really cold at night. Like, would he just be constantly like, oh, I'm melted in the day,
he's like
and
ice.
Wakes up at night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would halfway through he actually finally forget who he is and why he's there, and then he just suffers in eternity?
And if he forgets who he is, then
takes new memories away.
If he forgets who he is, then his consciousness is technically no longer the same consciousness as we're discussing for the purposes of this podcast, and which means that he is then a ship of Theseus. Okay. So if you torture Olaf enough, he will be a ship of Theseus at some point.
Well, and now scientifically, it's irresponsible to not.
You replace the water. It's just the...
Brody, why didn't you put a carrot on your guy?
I deliberately chose not to add the carrot.
That doesn't answer the question.
The carrot is the power limiter.
Because I really like the way that this dumb lip
Shadow the Hedgehog just...
But so the thing that we're ignoring with the ship of Theseus that I think we should delve into is the thought experiment is you have the boat and you take the parts away and you replace the parts one by one over time. But then there's also the idea of taking the original parts and putting them back together over time in like, a museum or whatever. And you could say, well, this is the original ship of Theseus. It has all of the parts. Or you could say, well, this is the original ship of Theseus because it was the one that got stuff replaced, even though it is all new at this point. Are they now both the ship of Theseus?
There's definitely 2 Olafs in Frozen 3. Like, that's going to happen. Well, they're going to introduce a BB-8 Olaf.
What I wondered was, if Elsa went ahead and made a second Olaf, like whatever you would call his species, a live snowman, whatever it is, they make a second Olaf, then both of those Olafs combine their snow into one. Is that like a Dragon Ball fusion, or are they just like 2 kids in a trench coat?
It depends on if they have the earrings.
I do believe you've forgotten about Marshmallow, the big snow bodyguard Elsa creates in the first Frozen movie.
It's only been 25 minutes.
What, you're acting like we're running this dry, Brody. We're only just getting started.
No, it's not about we're running it dry. It's about how much I can take mentally.
Well, if you snap, then you're no longer
3 hours.
If you snap, then you're no longer Brody.
How?
Oh, I really wish I could have had the talking sprite on that cough.
Stop drawing, piss Olaf. You were like, no, it's okay. You had something else to work on.
The ball sack chin? What took so long?
The
Hey, Peter, you're a snowman now.
Why are his arms so veiny? Every time at the corner of my eye, I think I'm looking at something that I need to censor from my screen.
That was a Nico ad. He asked me to give him really buff
Why
arms.
Nico?
The cursed version of talking Olaf with his mouth open, one of the buttons has veins.
Yeah, one of his buttons gets a vein on it.
So it's very fitting that we talked about Sandman in the context of Olaf, because Spider-Man and Elsa do exist together canonically.
No, stop it.
They are friends.
No.
Yeah, we can...
They go to the dentist together. I'm just saying, if you could replace all your teeth, when all your kid teeth fall out, is it the same mouth?
What is
Olaf's
Step
Ryu
Olaf?
number?
Olaf's Ryu number is 1.
1?
He is Ryu.
Is there a Frozen level in Kingdom Hearts? I think there is.
Yes,
There
Kingdom
is.
Hearts 3.
But also Fortnite.
He is Ryu.
But I don't think Olaf is in Fortnite.
There's definitely been an Olaf backpack in Fortnite, right?
Baymax is in the new season, and Frozen or Olaf and Baymax were together once.
They should make an Olaf hero shooter. Cancel Marvel Rivals and make just 7 Olafs, 7v7. They're all different classes.
Yeah, well, you got regular Olaf, Piss Olaf, Slurpee Olaf.
Slurpee Olaf's a classic, dude.
Ice Olaf, Melted Olaf. That's 5.
Okay.
So we need 2 more Olafs to have the 7 rings in hand.
I can't say one of the other Olafs
Olaf.
on an official
Seeking
episode.
therapy Olaf. Is that pre-therapy or post-therapy, though?
I'm hearing an opportunity for the remaining slots to be filled, Enlightened Olaf and Seeking Enlightenment
This
Olaf.
could be a Budokai Tenkaichi situation where we have 187 Olafs, and they're all mostly the same.
We have Frozen 2 Olaf, and then in Frozen 3, when he gets his wheelchair, that's a separate Olaf.
When he gets his chair, not is put into one.
How do you break Olaf's spine?
Because
he breaks his
spine at the end of
This
Frozen
doesn't
2.
make sense.
Is that real? I haven't watched it.
He would reconstitute.
Only Kevin understands what's happening here, and that's okay with me.
Oh, Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say so? You weren't speaking my language, Brody.
Thanks for coming to the Crub.
Well, because I really like the idea of a PlayStation All-Stars with Bentley and then post spine break
two
Bentley as
Bentleys,
2 separate characters, Evil Cole and Good Cole.
Because he gets more powerful when his spine breaks.
That's true. He's more fun to play as after. He is more mobile and fun to play as after.
Bentley's spine is his power limiter, Knuckles, Shadow's wristbands. Why are Shadow's power limiters live strong wristbands?
That's a great question.
It was the 90s. I get it, but why?
Because if the world chooses to become his enemy, he will fight as he always has.
Do we want a Frozen fun fact? Because I just found one.
Yeah.
Olaf occasionally appears in Disney Plus screensaver Arendelle Castle Yule Log, making him the only character from the Frozen franchise to appear in the screensaver.
That wasn't fun at all.
It's a Frozen-themed screensaver.
I'll give you another fun fact.
Yes.
When hit movie Coco came out in theaters, they put a 21-minute Olaf short in front of it. Some of you may recall this, because it was 21 minutes, which is twice as long as the usual shorts they do. And everyone was so upset at how long this Olaf thing was that they took it out immediately.
So Coco confirms that the Pixar universe has an afterlife. So what happens when Olaf dies? If he's not...
I don't think it's the first movie to confirm that.
So Olaf isn't Pixar. Olaf is Disney Animation.
If there's anyone who I think should know that,
Pixar rules. Olaf doesn't know what the Incredibles mom looks like.
Well, okay, but then there is that scene in Moana where she talks to her dead grandma as a ghost. So there's and then she's actually a manta ray. So there's some sort of reincarnation or afterlife going on.
Kevin,
I mean, she could also just be crazy.
Yeah, what do you think Toy Story is?
She could have also just snapped and just had a hallucination.
Had a vision.
White vision.
The idea of that the water is sentient and has picked her, that's legit. But the idea of dead grandma ghost, that's a hallucination.
Hear me out.
Don't say "hear me out" after you say white vision.
You know what? It's gonna get worse. So hear me out.
What is white vision?
if you have a Vision, and it's like because Vision's the real Vision, White Vision is the second clone Vision. So if you have a Vision of like a Phantom Vision, can you then call it in the Marvel universe a White Vision? Because it's not the real one. You're just hallucinating. I don't think we should call it that, but could you?
What is White Vision? Is this real?
Yeah, it's real.
Why does he look like the guy from Watchmen? Oh, he's like a robot guy. Ew.
Well, because he's Vision.
Wait, do you not know who Vision is?
I didn't watch the show.
You haven't seen any Marvel movies?
There's like a red guy choking him out.
Freaking sorry.
Cool.
Oh my god,
that's
he
Vision.
is Red Guy. He is Red Guy.
Yeah.
See, Red Vision is Vision.
Red guy.
But he's not, but he is.
You haven't seen like any Marvel movie since Avengers 2?
I mean, Vision's in like 2 movies. Like when I watched whichever one he was in of the Avengers, was he in Infinity War?
Yes, he did.
That's where his face ripped open by Thanos.
But he was in the opening of Infinity War. Is more what I mean than that.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing him in the opening of Infinity War, and I was like, "Who the hell?" Like,
he's in Avengers 2. He's in Civil War.
He's disguised as a white guy.
I never watched Avengers 2 or Civil War. That's why, probably.
Oh, okay, yeah, that explains.
Because I was like, everyone said don't watch 2.
Movies.
Everyone said don't watch 2, and Civil War was only about Spider-Man, so it didn't matter.
Those people were freaking wrong too. Was awesome.
Then he was in Infinity War, and then he was in the WandaVision.
Well, so then
That's
we have a Metal Sonic situation with the big bad of Avengers 2. Because he's all of those creatures in a Geth consciousness situation. Mm-hmm. He's all the robots.
So is Vision, kind of.
So True. So if there are multiple Olafs, are they a shared consciousness, or is one Olaf the master Olaf that Knuckles needs to protect from Eggman?
I have no strings on me.
You sounded like a metalhead from Jak and Daxter.
Don't. He sounds like Black Dude from Shadow the Hedgehog. Thank you.
Shadow, I need you to get the Chaos Emeralds.
But Jak 2 allegedly inspired Shadow the Hedgehog, so they probably took Black Doom's voice from Jak.
I love you saying allegedly when it was like one of the multiple choice questions in like Sean's quiz, and it was the only one that was wrong.
Well, yeah, because people watched my video where I made the joke, and then... Yeah, like Sean was making the joke about my video.
Gotcha.
A lot of people have assumed that was like genuine, and I'm like, how? That's like the clearest joke.
I mean, there's a through line. I could see it.
If you tell a joke and no one laughs, are you conscious?
Still,
we'll have to see after this episode goes up.
Two trains go in opposite directions at 45 miles an hour.
If you laughed at this video, be sure to give us one big thumbs down in the comments and tell us why you watched this.
How many booms does this video get, chat?
Boo! Ow, my jaw popped. Ow.
If your jaw pops and you put it back into place, but it's slightly different than where it was before, are you the same person?
Well, that's still the same jaw. If you got your jaw replaced.
Brody, did you have a 3DS?
Yeah.
This is a podcast about video games, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you get, in the launch year, Frozen Olaf's Quest?
I did not.
Oh. Well, reviews were largely mixed, but Olaf was voiced by Josh Gad.
Oh, that's like the 3DS Snowman bowling game that was always like $1.
Was he voiced by Josh Gad in Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
So is that the same Olaf then? Like if
Chris is voicing Olaf,
is the Woody
the Olaf
in the
verse?
Like is the Woody voiced by Tom Hanks's brother still the same Woody, even though he's voiced by somebody else?
I don't care.
I'm gonna say we need a
that's my Woody impression. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, bro, you can't say that in front of me. You don't have any
friends. I don't know how to do a Woody voice.
Can you drive the cars from Cars? Like, can you get inside Lightning McQueen?
I feel like it's meat in there.
Do cars have steering wheels?
Did you say you think it's meat? Hold on.
I just looked that up about real cars. Hold on.
Brody, did you say that you think the inside of Lightning McQueen is meat?
Yeah, like flesh, like meaty, like organic.
Can you cook Lightning McQueen?
Yeah. Like, if
would you eat him like medium rare?
I don't believe this theory.
If you open his door, right, it's just like fleshy, like pulsating meat, and you can carve out
it's like the inside of Jabu Jabu. Like
no one knows for sure. The likeliest scenario is that they're biological organisms with a hard exterior like bugs. Here's a well-known image depicting that, and then they link to an image, and that is disgusting. I'm sharing it to everyone.
Chris, you don't like bugs, so do you not like cars anymore?
No, I guess not. I might have to throw away some of the stuff in my other room now.
Trav, that is exactly what I'm thinking.
Oh, that is awful. That cross-section is actually vile.
Dude, just take out a big chunk of brain, throw it on the ground.
Put that in the show notes, Chris.
I've got to delete
No, don't delete that. No. Put it in the show notes.
Never mind.
Sure.
For audio listeners at home, love you to death. It's a picture of Lightning McQueen cut in half, and you can see his organs.
It's like a dissected cross-section of Lightning McQueen. What does he have? What organs does he have there? So I see there's a brain. The brain is kind of like
I see a brain. I see a stomach. I see that's just a car engine put in there.
There's his tongue. They have his tongue sitting in the right spot for a tongue.
Intestine.
Yeah, he does only have the one, and then it goes out.
And he has like a skull around his brain too.
Yeah,
I don't know that he would.
I feel like it's like an
I could see
it's like
pituitary gland.
It's like an exoskeleton made of chitin.
It's pronounced chitin.
I'm chitting right now.
You know, I've always liked the observation that because there is a Pope Mobile in Cars 2, it implies that there was a Cars Crusades.
Also, that the Pope Mobile shits in the woods.
It's true.
I don't see a Kachussy in this cross-examine. I'm just going to say
if the Pope shits in the woods and no one's around to see it, did he shit at all?
I don't think so, no.
Is he observing it?
I mean, he observes everything as the Pope, doesn't he? Isn't that what they do?
Then I think he does.
Omniscient or whatever.
I think he does.
It's weird that Halo has like 17 popes all at once. Like all those prophets. Like they're all just individual popes, kind of.
That feels like a conflict of interest.
The guy who flies in Halo Wars?
Yeah, there's because that's the prophet of regret in Halo Wars.
Prophet of regret, prophet of like I don't remember the others. They weren't as important.
There's more than one?
There's like 3.
Ew.
You kill one of them in Halo 2,
and then
spoilers. I think the other oh sorry. You don't kill one in Halo 2. You actually become very good.
Okay, that's good. Kevin, did you find your Rick and Morty script?
So I want to show you guys.
I didn't find my Rick and Morty script.
This is an image I printed out. I found it on Twitter, and I put it in my desk every time. So when I open my desk, it's a reminder. It's a picture of the guy from Spider-Verse telling me to stop screwing around.
The bad guy.
I wanted to share that with you guys. Yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys because I don't want to talk about Olaf anymore.
Well, good news. So, we're only 38 minutes in.
So if Olaf had a Spider-Verse situation...
Well, he'd meet, he'd meet
you have the one voiced by John Mulaney.
He'd meet Olafette, right?
Anime Olaf with Olaf mech.
Pigloff.
Yeah.
I think that's a video game. I've played those before. It's the filling in numbers one.
No, you're thinking of the Piglots from Rough Trigger and the Vanacore Conspiracy.
No, I'm thinking of Picross.
Why is Rough
I can't wish death on you, but I want to.
That game has cutscenes.
Yeah. That was a short podcast, Trav.
Oh my god, yeah. You gotta go back to the start.
How did we...
Every Friday.
Episodes every Friday? Of what?
Of the CRUBCAST everywhere. We shouldn't say that because we might be changing our release schedule.
Why did you put the Germa sus meme or me in this?
What?
This thumbnail. Why is it the Germa sus face?
We're now just looking at Trav's recommended feed on the sidebar of different podcasts.
I'm putting another one on.
I was just Googling memes and I couldn't find anything.
It's got the
that's the 1-year anniversary.
It's got the anniversary intro that took me literally 14 hours to render 1 minute of footage. I needed a Pixar server farm for that single render.
The very kind that powers Olaf.
It's not very involved. Like it's not an involved thing. It just took that long.
Oh hey, there's Nico, Moriarty, Brody, and Kevin.
Yeah.
Well,
if I'm in 2 places at once, which one is the real me? Like, are my videos still me as far as the viewer is concerned.
Well, if I'm looking at Kevin the Golden Bolt, but I'm watching him on his second channel, the Platinum Bolt, is he now the Platinum Bolt?
This really gets back to the mask thing, like you have the mask around your friends, the mask around your family, and the mask around the people who have a parasocial relationship.
Brody!
I love doing it quiet enough that Trav's the only one that reacted as Chris.
Sorry, there was a dog bark in the background, so I had to quiet my dog down. I missed whatever you said. Say it again louder.
Yeah, for the class.
No,
share.
Go ahead,
that
Chris.
Dream song.
You can't pass a note and then not have it read to the class. Chris, read your note that you have.
Oh, I have to pass Chris a note.
What is white vision? Also, I spelled anatomy wrong on Lightning McQueen anatomy. I forgot the Mick and McQueen, so I have Lightning Queen anatomy.
Also, Chris said earlier, no one acknowledged it, but earlier Chris said Kachussy.
I didn't see a Kachussy in that cross section.
I just didn't think anything of it.
This might be the worst podcast we've ever done.
I think this is the most fun I've had with a podcast.
I was going to say, Chris labeled the Christmas one where we talked about Flat Earth as our worst episode, but I think we're going to top it.
When the hell did that...
I legit think this is the most
Brody's fault.
fun I've had recording this.
Hey, it's not...
I thought I was going to hate this episode. I thought that by the end of it, I was going to get at least 3 angrily written Discord messages telling me, you got to get off the podcast.
Olaf. Secondly, Brody, you're the one who brought up the Flat Earth thing, so don't talk like it's me.
Yeah, but at least this time it wasn't my fault.
Trav, you can't write yourself mean messages and then say you got mean messages.
I don't know how else to make them...
I thought Trav was saying like fans of his were messaging him like you gotta distance yourself from
I was implying
Crub.
that they'd be from you guys.
For your street cred, bro, you gotta get off.
You know the movie Split?
No.
Where the guy has the 14 personalities? What if you wrote yourself mean... This is actually the plot of, I think, that movie. What if you write yourself mean messages from the perspective of the other you that you don't know? I guess it's also like a Fight Club situation. Spoilers for Fight Club, I think.
You know what? That's also a plot point in Apple TV separate.
I was just about to say. We talked about that in pre-show, baby.
That's a good point. So if Olaf was in Severance...
Is that why the guy in that show's leaving? Olaf's coming in?
I think Trav's done. I think he's dead. I think we killed him.
It's kind of just
I was trying so hard to keep that water in my mouth. Trav dropped my headphones on
Now,
the
what if
floor.
that water was Olaf?
We almost
spit Olaf. All right. Backwash Olaf. Let's go. We got another one.
Olaf. The Olaf we probably need to censor and then spit Olaf.
Backwash
we got so close to Trav having a Triple H spit take into the camera of Olaf, like spitting Olaf unto us.
I wish there was a way I could visually represent Backwash Olaf for the thumbnail, but there's no way.
Right, now that going back to
give me some time.
Give me 5 hours and I'll draw it badly.
Going back to your is Olaf Jesus? If you drink Olaf, you are drinking the body of Olaf.
Okay, yeah, we could.
Should we start?
Out of this.
I want to be clear to Brody. I didn't mean that your art is bad. I just mean it ruins me to my core.
We could start a church and get like the tax breaks.
We could start a church. We could
the
buy
Church
a
of
zoo.
Olaf. Oh no, zoos don't make a lot of money. Like you gotta feed the animals.
Yeah, you don't.
What if you feed them?
No, you don't,
what
bro.
if you clone Olaf and feed them Olaf?
We're gonna need a lot of therapists for this Olaf.
We don't know that these Olaf clones, even though they are just ice, they're special ice. So maybe they have nutrients.
Are they self-sustaining?
Is Soylent Green Olaf?
Ooh. Green Olaf. Parentheses Soylent.
Okay, wait. Hold on, Kevin.
Okay, hold on, guys. I got one.
I thought you're giving me a Skibbity Olaf.
You're giving me a brain blast because let's take it can be any Olaf. We can say it's slushy Olaf, whatever it is. Yeah. One person takes a sip, then another person takes a sip, then another person takes a sip.
Are we doing the water cycle as like two people go across the world and pee Olaf in different spaces? Does the water cycle bring Olaf back together?
What is the water cycle, and why are you talking about it as if it's a matter of fact thing?
Well, because
the water cycle is a real thing,
and then you piss the water, and the water evaporates, goes into the sea, and then it evaporates into the air, becomes a cloud.
That makes sense. No. So what I interpreted from that was we get a line of people around the circumference of the earth.
We're not human centipede peeing Olaf into each
drink
other.
the next person's piss, and then they keep going around the world. That's what I thought we were talking about.
No, I meant the actual. Like,
and then eventually it comes back to the guy who started the piss, and he has to tell us what was so different about it.
If Olaf got deep into the water table, he would be like underground for centuries.
Maybe he's there right now.
We haven't seen Olaf in a while.
There are the people who live under the Earth's core, you know?
What if Olaf was because we have, obviously, climate change. What if Olaf was the last bit of snow on Earth?
Because he can't die, right?
Just sadly roaming the Earth, like, everyone I know has died millions of years ago. It's just me. Backwash
it's just
Olaf.
Wally. Olaf and Wally are we could do a film theory here about Olaf and Wally having the same trauma.
No, beyond that, because at least Wally will, like, presumably eventually, like, conk out and die. Like, he has the capacity to, he's in a bad spot, he can't repair himself, and he goes offline forever. Like, that could happen to Wally. Olaf is going to be there for, like, the heat death of the universe, and then after the heat death of the universe, he'll still
he literally can't.
That's his dream, though. That's what he wants. Maybe that's why he holds on.
Yeah, but then afterwards, he's just going to be slowly floating in space, slowly going insane, becoming part of, like, the spore consciousness hive mind.
What if Olaf is the Big Bang? Because he's the last bit of matter at the end of existence.
You know what
the
else
universe
that
finishes
to?
expanding,
Sandman.
and it starts unexpanding in on itself, and it just converges on Olaf, and he just gets crushed into like a micro-compactor black hole, and then he booms out into a new universe.
Could you gargle Olaf while like finishing off like you're brushing your teeth?
Just the jump from Olaf is the center of the universe to like, hey, could you use some of his mouthwash though?
Gargle Olaf like it's mouthwash.
In a way, it's like God giving us the gift of consciousness, and then we're sitting here doing this bullshit.
Olaf gave us the consciousness to talk about.
It's like breaking out, like you're having a serious conversation, and then the person I'm talking to goes, "So what are you wearing?"
Can you fight a bear?
What are you wearing?
So, if Olaf did,
I got little kittens on my shirt.
Oh, that's cute.
Let's say there's an afterlife,
and I got. Hold on.
That's a ripped sock. You just showed.
How do we keep getting Trav feet?
The kitten that's like the tuxedo cat on your left, Trav.
Okay.
Looks like he saw something very traumatic, like Olaf being pissed out.
This one?
Yeah, just wide-eyed. Yeah. It looks like he's Olaf trauma.
For audio listeners at home, I have a bunch of dogs on my shirt.
Cats.
So, okay.
What did I say?
Dogs.
Let's say that there's an afterlife, and
the one thing that's not cats.
You drink Olaf, right? You drink Olaf, and it's like the moment that he gets transported into the teleporter, his matter is done. He comes back as Piss Olaf, but this is effectively the Olaf on the other side of the transporter. He's a new being. Stream of consciousness has been severed. It's still the same, but it's not. The actual Olaf's soul has gone to heaven, and then God drinks Angel Olaf.
Why would he do that?
And pisses him out.
Well, because God isn't bound by like our morals.
Yeah, time.
Like our concept
like
of
a
morals.
biblically accurate angel that's just like a bunch of rings and.
I don't like biblically accurate Olaf.
Well, to God, everything is good and very good, right?
If you want to see biblically accurate Olaf, stick around for the post show.
I have a question. It's a little more back to basics.
Unfortunate.
If Olaf's pursuit is warmth, then does he want to be peed out?
Yeah, probably.
He would be warm then, yeah.
Is that
but
the
also,
cycle?
like, if Olaf is made of that special water/snow, then can anything else permeate it, or is it waterproof? Can you get Olaf wet?
Isn't water not wet?
Yeah, well, it goes to the whole water. But that question.
I'm talking, mother. I went outside today.
You started talking after him. What the hell is this?
I went outside today, and there was like dry snow in my car. It wasn't wet, so like I think that Olaf, if he's dry, we can make him wet.
That's just dust. You just described.
Did you put dust on my car again?
Yeah.
I can't believe it worked.
I have so much sawdust that I can't ever get rid of, so I ship it across the country to you.
I sprinkle it in your front yard because you're like, oh, it's a snow day.
I ask the mailman to drop it everywhere that you would not understand or expect it to be, so that it angers you. I ask your family to sprinkle it into your food.
Oh.
So if you're ever wondering why it hurts when you poop, it's Olaf.
The brain damage.
Sawdust. Olaf. Can we make a sawdust Olaf?
I could draw that. Don't make Brody draw it.
Well, because, so, do you guys remember, you guys might not know this, there was a World War II boat that the Navy was trying to build that I think did get briefly built at small scale of what if we, in the North Atlantic, made a boat that was just ice and sawdust? Or, like, ice and, like, wood chips. Because that strengthens it. Because ice was actually... at that scale was like strong enough that it would be better to. It was a really bad boat, clearly, but it's a thing.
I see where they're coming from.
Yes, yeah.
So like if you took Olaf and added sawdust to him, I forget the name of what it.
Project Habakkuk.
You know, I feel like the scientific answer, right? If Olaf has control of that sawdust at any point, I feel like the actual, like, if we're dissecting him going into, like, the biological, like, forget the magic, let's find the science behind it kind of situation, it's probably a case where the sawdust is initially inert and not part of his body, but as he moves around, as it sort of contextualizes within himself, it sort of constitutes in himself, and then it becomes
so he doesn't have
part
control over the sawdust. It's more like he has to use his snow particles to, like, scoop it,
to move it around, to push it around.
It's like Mr. Fantastic,
but I think eventually it does,
having to keep his body from melting.
Like, I think it becomes a part of him.
Like, you're just describing Olaf getting cancer.
Yeah, that's what I want.
So
he popped
himself. All right.
He popped himself so good I could see all the other Crubbers in the back.
Final answer. Is Olaf a ship of Theseus situation, where if you drink him and pee him out, and the pee reconstitutes into the water that he is, then is he the same, or is he a different being, regardless of whether it is the same soul, because we can't say definitively that it is the same soul, because as Brody noted, it's similar to the teleporter situation, where we can't prove that it's the same consciousnness, and to Chris's point earlier, like specifically Shadow the Hedgehog, doesn't matter. Like, does it functionally matter if does it functionally matter if Olaf can't prove but knows that he might not be the original Olaf? Because that's the key here, is if you have that thought, then you may not be the original being anymore.
What happens if I'm drinking him, but in between sips of Olaf, I also drink, like, energy drinks and Gatorade and coffee and
all goes to the same place, man. We all die eventually.
But so, like, then he's pissed out, but
God, I can't do this all that.
Bro, do you know how when Shao reincarnate, they have some of the attributes of the original Shao?
Is Chaos Olaf?
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Because he's like special water.
Chaos.
Yeah, Chaos is special water.
Chaos is special water. Olaf is special ice.
If you drank Chaos like a boba tea.
But there's Chaos soda. There is Chaos soda.
Well, that's the boba tea bubble.
Just sucking the brain out of Chaos.
Yo, he would pay a lot of money for if you sucked out his brain like that.
He's like boba tea.
I'm gonna suck Chaos through a straw.
Brody, you've been keeping track.
Isn't that how they ate SpongeBob's house? Why didn't they just try that?
True.
How far in are we?
Oh, we're 54 minutes, so we could go to the Crubscriber question of the week now if we wanted to. I think doing so would be an insult to whoever submitted the question, but we can do it.
It's fine.
If you boil like if we were in like a power outage situation where you're supposed to boil water and all you had was Olaf, could you then boil Olaf and shower with him to clean yourself?
Just imagining like you're just sitting at the kitchen table and he just sullenly walks in. He's like, it's still out, huh? It's like, yeah.
Dirty water, Olaf.
He's like, I know what I need to do. And he's like, just do it. I'm like, okay, thanks.
If Olaf eats you and pisses you out, are you still you?
No, I mean, you're dead. Like, that's not...
I'm not an Olaf, Brody.
Yeah, like, we're not special. Olaf is special.
But he might not have the stomach acid that disintegrates you.
What if there was a waterbender that water bent... Oh.
This summer on Paramount Plus,
if there was
Avatar.
Hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. If there's a waterbender who waterbends Olaf, are they then a bloodbender?
No, because he doesn't have blood.
Well, you don't know that. We don't know if his special snow has...
Well, he doesn't bleed.
narrow-minded.
We do know that he doesn't bleed, at the very least.
Well, we don't see the blood. It might come out as more snow.
I actually thought you were going to say it might come out at such an ultraviolet color that the human eye cannot perceive it.
That too.
Yo, can birds see Olaf blood?
Oh, I don't like that.
Is that why birds keep attacking Olaf? Because
I hate that we came out of this with something that could legitimately work as a theory.
we have more questions than answers on today's Crubcast, specifically about Olaf.
The journey we've been on for Olaf is the cosmic source of everything too. Yeah, he still has birds attack him though.
Oh, shit.
Join us next week when we talk about why Xbox is cooked for an hour. If you want to ask us questions, you can go to patreon.com/crub. And for only $2 a month, 1 month, you can fill in our form with questions like this one
we had a Patreon?
that we're not going to answer this month, this week. The one true blue. Sorry. Question. A few months ago, I met up with a fan who is now a great friend of mine. Have you guys ever met a fan that turned into a friendship? Never meet a fan. Never befriend a fan. It's bad. Don't do it.
My
Kevin.
lawyers have advised me not to answer this.
Do you want to answer it?
I mean, what's
Kevin,
a law
how
other
about
than a
you?
human construct?
I mean, if like the lawyers might just be mean. Like, if you want to do it, you can answer it. It's not admissible in court if you want to do it.
It's not legal advice unless they say it is.
It's not admissible.
It's not legally admissible if you want it.
Lawyers.
That's what I say, reaching
lawyers
for the
can't-
Reese's peanut butter cup.
Lawyers can't lie to you and say they're not a lawyer if you ask them if they're a
Yeah,
lawyer.
if you...
I remember that from season 5 of Better Call Saul. It was crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's true. Are you a lawyer?
So Trav, do you have any stories of having befriended fans?
I mean, I could say fan is a strong word, but I knew who Kevin was before I met him.
I never liked you.
Yeah, me neither. So
That's why you're on this
we're-
episode.
Yeah, now
now more than ever.
Because I mean that does bring us to like all of us have situations where we've befriended people we are fans of, like
Yeah.
like our mutual friends of the podcast. Like some call him Jonathan, Anthony
Friends of the
Dude.
show.
Yeah, like those are
And
people
then,
that we
like,
follow.
I have people that I can call my friends that originally joined my Discord just as like supporters.
Yeah,
John Cena. Yeah.
Olaf.
Kilo is a good example.
Yeah, and
Kilo's been to my house. Like, yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, and the example that Chris and I were going to give was the story of how Chris and I met, because I was watching. I mean, it was through John essentially, because I was watching John's stuff, and then Brain Scratch came up, and then Gareth came up, and then FTCR came up, and you were doing Learning to Love PlayStation, which if you bring it back will not be the same series. It'll be a different.
Yeah, because he hates it now.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just meant like cosmically, like it's not. Everything's changed, so it can't be the same series.
Ship of Theseus.
So
Would you shut up, man?
well, there'd be two. There'd be two Learning to Love PlayStations, because there'd be the old one, which is still the old one, and the new one, which takes all the parts of the old one and has rebuilt.
I kind of did that with the Sly 4 one, so this would be like a new one.
Yeah.
Think about it.
But anyway, so Chris had Learning to Love PlayStation, and I watched it because I always tried to watch FTCR, and I was like, I don't know who any of these people are because they always change, and I can't tell which ones are which. Is that Smoothies? And
Just like Crub.
so then I watched Learning to Love PlayStation, and at some point I commented on Chris's videos and was talking with him as a a fan who's like, I'm making a YouTube channel soon, don't do that ever. Don't ever do that.
I've been taking a lot of research and notes to make sure I get it right. Never do that either.
Never do any of that. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
And then I did create the channel, obviously, and continued chatting with Chris. Suggested a collab at some point where I said sorry for sliding into your DMs, and Chris said,
"Slide on in anytime, friend."
And that's when we became friends.
Somehow that worked out.
He said friend, so that's when I was like, friend.
Oh. Wow, no, you were totally right, Kevin. The invention of piecrete. It's 14% sawdust, 86% water.
Yeah. So Olaf could be piecrete.
Now, I've never met a fan and become a friend with said fan.
That's
mostly
good.
because
thanks for coming to the Crubcast, everyone.
I actively would avoid that because I don't care for that, which is why
it's usually a bad idea.
You'll never see me chatting in the Crub public server. You'll never see me on Book Crub where people are actually interacting with fans because it's
so make sure to join us.
Yeah. You'll see the rest of them maybe sometimes, but not me. I don't care for it. But I did become friends with a fan once because Kevin was a fan of Ant Dude and so was I.
I mean, I wasn't a fan of you though.
No.
Still
but you were a fan of someone.
You can't use that word like that anymore. Super Bowl just happened. Super Bowl just happened. Can't do it. Especially not. This is a white guy podcast.
Welcome to the Ant Dude fan cast.
Yeah, I think Ant Dude's pretty cool. He likes retro achievements.
Ooh, we should upload onto Crub specifically
Ant Dude videos.
Ant Dude fan cam video.
Yes, we should.
Honestly, that would do numbers.
We should do fan cam edits of all of our guests.
Yeah, every single one.
That's how we advertise them. And we bring them back on and we use
like
that
instead
as
of a trailer.
video.
Instead of a trailer, yeah, we just post a fan cam, and it's like really shitty zoom ins and like unsynced bass.
Just him talking about sucking and blowing from Kirby or whatever the hell he talks about. But we don't tell him until it's done, and we just send the link to it and say, here you go, man.
If Kirby sucked Olaf.
If Kirby sucked Olaf, spat him back out into a star, and then the dust rearranged into Olaf.
Well, so I was thinking Kirby copy ability Olaf.
Oh, is that Olaf?
Because then is that still...
Sorry, Jar.
Is that still Olaf?
We might need a part 2 to this episode with Ant Dude about Kirby. I am just going to throw that.
Yeah, because he's an expert on Kirby, so we'll make him watch this full episode.
And
then take notes.
I feel like this is anytime we get a guest now, we just ask them about Piss Olaf.
Yes, they do a Joe Swanson impression, then we ask about Piss Olaf.
I mean, like, I've heard of podcasts that are like
icebreakers.
the recurring thing with guests is asking them if they have ghost stories. Like, this could just be our ghost stories.
Well, so ours was always do a Joe Swanson for guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
then
now
we started
Olaf.
inviting people.
I think we've moved on as a civilization.
What do you mean?
You're right.
It's never Jover.
The Joe Swanson meme's bigger than ever. It's huge.
I wear a carrot on my nose too sometimes. Just to feel something.
All right, I'm going to call it there.
Why is there a part in the Piecrete Wikipedia page called shooting incidents?